Test. Okay, welcome everybody, KD here with stream number 7 and the first stream in our new schedule. A little bit late, I'm sorry about that, but I put in 6 p.m. but it can mean that I will start a little bit later. The idea is that I will do really long streams, so really at least 2 hours, but probably 3 or maybe 4, even 4 hours, or when I really have time, maybe even 5 hours or so. So that's why I will start the stream as early as possible, and maybe sometimes we have some minutes I'm late. The idea is that you can pop in anytime, ask your questions and so on, so you don't really have to be on point or so, because most of the time at the beginning I just talk nonsense and before we start. So if I want to show you something more educational wise, more tutorial wise, I will do that at the beginning of a stream, because the simple reason is because if you want to rewatch the stream, you have this information at the beginning and not somewhere in the middle of the stream. And then I will do more work on my project, more experimental stuff that hopefully still will teach you guys some stuff about softwares and so on. But yeah, so that's the thing with the streams. So for tutorials, I've said I make more focused tutorials outside of streams, so on YouTube, more edited videos. I just uploaded. Let me see if it's now up. Finally up. I just uploaded another tutorial video. It's still in processing, but it should be up in a couple of minutes. So check these tutorial videos out as soon as you have time. I made 3 tutorial videos this weekend, and one is about human proportion in Blender, and then the 2 others are about saving. So I made right now 2 tutorials about saving, one about save to 1 slot, but it's quite simple on the short video, and then a video about saving to 2 different slots, so you have different save files, so the player can do different playthroughs on different save files, or can create backup saves if he wants. This is a little bit more complex, and you will see the video is a lot longer. So I kind of hope that these tutorials will be. I really try to make this tutorial short. It seems not always possible. So to keep them short, I will probably in the future put them more in separate parts, as much as it makes sense to put them in different parts. I don't want to kind of make the tutorial. Yeah, every tutorial has to be 10 minutes, and then I cut it off and I make a part 2. I kind of want to finish somewhere that makes sense. So for save and load, for this tutorial there will be a part 3. I think that will be very helpful if you very new to Unreal Engine, or even if you know a little bit about Unreal Engine. This will be very helpful to understand different save systems, and that will be the part 3. However, I have to prepare a little bit more for part 3. I can't just from a zero template or something like that. I have to build up a little pseudo game, let's say like this, so I can show you what you can do with save method I teach you in part 1 and part 2. So part 3 I will show you how you can use it with different examples. You can use it as checkpoints, saving only on checkpoints, saving manually, so the player has to save, autosaves over time, like let's say every 5 minutes the game saves, and dynamic autosave. What I mean with that is that every time something changes, some variable changes that you want to save, you just save the game. These are the 4 things I will show you there. I hope I can put everything in one part and it won't get too long, otherwise I will maybe even make a part 4. Yeah, but if you have time, if you're interested, please check out these tutorials. So with that, enough intro. I want to come to what we do today. So that's actually still intro. Yeah. Let's close. Sorry, let's close this window. Let me go to Unreal Engine. So what do we do today? If you watch the last stream, I kind of ended up with testing something, and that's with widgets that hang over over an actor or a character, an NPC, or anything like that. So what I wanted to do last time was as soon as this here is a hitbox, as soon as the player jumps into the hitbox, the widget will show up over the head of the player and then of the NPC, and the player knows, oh, I have to press E to interact. And then when you press E, something happens. What we also did last time, here's our character, ignore that here on the left, that was for, I was testing something, the number, I mean, the save 01. I will put that off, and what we have now, it's what I set up last time. You see, he will hit the hitbox and automatically greet our NPC. What we want to do now is that this isn't automatically, but it is player. The player does activate this cutscene. That's the general thing. So now this time I didn't get. Yeah. So last time I did get a couple of warnings, and I didn't know why I did get these warnings. When I go into my it's a problem when you put everything in the same thing for testing. Yeah, I will show you that later. Where is my blueprint? My animation blueprint. Skeleton mesh, test dummy 2, skeleton mesh, NPC. I put that in the animation folder, of course. Yeah, anyway, I will show you that in a moment. So what I want to do today, it will be experimental, so I hope you still will learn something from it. I never did that, so that's why it's experimental. I don't know if the outcome it will be as I want it to be, and probably have to do some changes here and there, and maybe we probably will get at some point where we want to. Yeah, I have to see how far we go today. But the idea is, instead of just an image popping up over the head, I want to have the different options you can interact with. As example, when you come too close to an NPC, it says talk, greet, and do nothing or something like that. And then you can, because you can select which one you want to do, so you have different options. You don't only have one option to interact with your NPC. And that's what I want to try today. Like I said, I hope we can finish this. This will be not a tutorial in here. Maybe it will end up in a tutorial I will then upload to to YouTube. The second thing I want to do, and that's why I say I'm not sure if we want to finish that. I actually already said in the last stream that maybe I want to do to concentrate actually on my project. So, but then I had the feeling I don't like to really keep things unresolved and just hanging it in the room and then come back to it. I don't know, in a month or something like that. So I want at least to do some work on that here. If we don't finish, I will on the next stream come back to that. So it doesn't just, like I said, unresolved tank in the room. We will come back to it again and again. Second thing I want to do today is putting my terrible scribbling here into a 3D form. So this will be a monster that will come in my game project. So by the way, if you don't know about my game project, there is I put the pitch up on my YouTube. There should be a link in the description of YouTube, so please go and watch it and look if this is something you will be interested in. Anyway, this guy here, it's a Sandworm. So the game will start in a desert area, and the beginning of the game is a small introduction of two characters of the game, and then they will be forced into a fight with one of the Sandworms, and this will be kind of the tutorial fight, where I will explain how you fight and so on. So that's why I'm interested in making this guy as early as possible, and I found that interesting to do it already now, even if we have to do a lot of things in Unreal Engine. But I will try a little bit to mix it up with Unreal Engine and Blender as much as possible. I think as more as this project moves on, we will probably more and more go towards Unreal Engine and kind of do only small changes in Blender. But up to now, we have a lot of things to do in Blender too. Yeah, anyway, I will come back to this guy later. I don't think I can finish it today. I put Sandworm Part 1 question mark in the title. That's because I'm not sure if we can finish it. I don't think we can finish it. It's not the most difficult thing to do because it's a very repetitive body. We have these rings here. They're all the same with these little arms that will move, and the tail is a little bit different, not too much, and the head is also a circular thing. So the head will have more details, probably more than you see here now. But for sure, when I do these things, and even if I create it for the most parts, that doesn't mean it's the finished version. To add the really small details and so on, this is I maybe won't do everything on the stream, but I will show you the results if I work outside of the stream on something and do a little bit more the detailed parts and so on. But so you understand. But I mean, there's still a lot to do, so I'm not sure. It may take too long for today's stream. It probably will take too long for today's stream. So maybe the goal is to make at least the body you see here, and then what we also have to do are textures, and then rigging the body to a armature, and then making animations, and then there are some more targets I want to put in, some final little details and so on. So with all that said, there's quite a lot to do, and I don't think we will finish this today. And I will of course come back in the next stream probably to that again, but we will see how far we get today. Let's close this completely for now, because for now we'll focus on our Unreal Engine. So now I said before that we get an error, that I got an error last time. I couldn't really say what was the problem, and yeah, sometimes you just have to take a step back, and when you come back to it and look at it, then you see immediately, oh yeah, that was the problem, and that happened here. So the problem is simple. It had to do with this greeting variable here, with this greeting boolean that we take out from our little asset here. Did I put it? Yeah, I will anyway do this differently here, and this variable is saved in here in this asset greetings. And the problem is you only have this asset in this particular map. So if you're in another map, then the game can't find this variable, and we will get the errors. And that's why I was so surprised last time. Why do we get an error when everything works? And it is because it works on the particular map, but when we're outside the map, so when we are in the start menu or so on, he can't find this, and he was looking for it. So we can't have this in the something like that. We can't have it in such a specific place. We have to have it somewhere where I can get it over and over again. So we need a blueprint that is in every map. And which blueprint is in every map? And that's of course when we go to saving our save and load active blueprint, that will in which we do our saving and loading. Again, I will repeat that maybe a couple of times later on, and when you watch my tutorials about saving and loading, I say it there many times too. The save and load actor, it's really our core blueprint for saving and loading, and because of that it has to be in every single map you create. You can just drag and drop it into your map. I kind of make default maps where I put in these blueprints, so this will not the only one blueprint I will use, just because as soon as the game gets bigger, there will be many events in here, and I don't want to cluster all the events in one blueprint. So we'll kind of create different blueprints that some will be for combat and others will be for the for the world, to walk around in the world, and so on. So I can split this a little bit into the different maps. Yeah, but I will come to that later on. Like I said, how you create these events here about saving and loading, I just uploaded a tutorial about that. Go watch this if you're interested. So now I will do the greetings variable here. I will put this into testing so we can be sure it's in here. So now if I had a variable I want to save, I want the game to remember the changes in the variable, then I will put it in the save blueprint myself. In the save blueprint itself, so I can always, when I change the variable, save it. However, this is a very flexible variable here. We just want to use it when we come close to an NPC that we can choose greetings. Of course, this is only testing. I mean, do you want to put something like that in your game? You can do it. It's like maybe a nice little touch. I don't know. I will also categorize these things here under save. Just I will find it easily later on. This is also under save. So I mean, now we know we are still at the beginning of our game, so this seems a little bit like, why do I categorize everything? So because right now we find everything easily, but if we have like, I mean, absolutely in the safe blueprint, I'm not lying, if you make a complex game, you get easily up to 100 variables you want to save, or 100 variables used to change things and so on. I mean, even it doesn't even have to be an RPG. You will go easily over hundreds if you kind of make a bigger RPG, over hundreds of variables in saving and flexible variables you have in a blueprint or so on, easily. But even if you make a shooter, you have to tell, as example, you want to know the progress he made, where is he, at which checkpoint he is, so you have to make a variable for that for sure. You want to know how many weapons he has, or which weapons he uses right now. You want to know how much ammo he has. You want to know how many grenades he has, and so on and so on. Or you want to put a kill count in somewhere, so how many did he kill. You will make some statistics like how many did he kill with headshots, and so on and so on. I mean, you just stack up these variables very easy, so it's good to categorize them so you can find them easy later on. Anyway, I'm talking a lot and we didn't even start yet. So now I made this greetings thing here, and I will change this to our save and load blueprint. So in other words, if you have a flexible variable you don't want to save, a good place to put it in is the save and load blueprint. But be careful to not overload the save and load blueprint. If absolutely, I would keep the events. For the events, I would only keep the saving and loading. And if you want to make other events, and you will probably want to make other events, you can do that in other blueprints. You just have to be sure to always put in the blueprints you create into your map. you can just take it and drop it every time you make a blueprint. So that's why, absolutely, if you want to do a game with multiple maps, that's why we have to test first our standard game mechanics, so we have a structure, so we have already at least most of our blueprints in our map, in our default map, so we just can work from our default map, set up and create new maps and so on. But we will come to that later on. What did I want to do? I want to finish this here, so save and load. We get a copy from here, so I think I will repeat that in every stream I will do. To get all actors of class is probably the most important function you have in here, because you can get a reference to every blueprint you create. And then we get the greetings. Get greetings, and we will combine this here. And now we shouldn't have this problem. So animations, I have to think about it. You can put animations into save and load blueprint, or you make a separate blueprint for animations. I think we come back to that later on. I have to think about what's probably better, because for animations maybe we need some events that happens. Maybe it's better to separate it. Let me think about that. I will come back to that in a later stream. I personally think it's probably better to really separate these things too. So I just really realized if you really cluster a lot of things in one blueprint, Unreal Engine just will use a lot of your memory and things like that, and will has really to work hard. So that's why I kind of like to rather make different blueprints. And the second thing is you will find your stuff much easier. Anyway, so this should be clear now with the greetings. I want to do this differently here. I mean, I'm a little bit stupid because I made now two different assets I could do in one. I did my NPC, and then I created a trigger volume. That means when your player walks in here, things happens. However, I can, if I'm not completely wrong, maybe I should check it before I say more. Here's our NPC blueprint. But actually, it should be possible to add a trigger volume. Isn't it possible? It is not possible, so I talked too early. Okay, then forget what I said right now. Box collision. Well, we could do it like this. I'm not. Can I make from here an overlap? Something like an component overlap actors, get overlapping actors, generate overlap events, get multi-body overlap, read the value of variable b, generate overlap events. Through this component will generate overlap events when it's overlapping other components. Again, begin overlap both components, this and the other. Also have that this enabled for overlap events to occur. Yeah, I'm not sure. I was almost certain you could put. That means we have to separate these things. Huh? So it's overlap. Check whether this component is overlapping any component of the given actor. Event actor begin overlap event actor. I mean, probably you can set it up, but I just at the moment I don't. Let's make it separate. Then we are sure it works. It's a little bit more work, so that would have been nice if we could do that in the same. I'm sorry about that. I didn't want to add a cube. Sorry. I want to add a box collision. Just let me see what we have here. Events on component in, component begin overlap. Yeah, I think we can do it. I will try it like this. On component activated input on released on clicked and cursor. Yeah. If we put them probably on component begin overlap, and then we will maybe create an end overlap also. I will try it like this. Let's take this one for now. Delete. Let's open it so I know the commands I made. Yeah, at this moment I only have a begin overlap. So let's check if this works here. So first I have to kind of change the scale and maybe the rotation, the location. Let's put it a little bit higher. Let's give him 2, 3. 3, 3. So when we come close to him, I hope this is enough. Maybe it's a little bit too close, but we can bring it a little bit forward so when you approach him from the front and not from the back or something like that. Depending on the situation, on how you want to do it. So let's give you, let's see. Yeah. So when we approach from the front, we will then greet him. Hopefully, if it works. On component begin overlap. Oh my god. Let me see here. Overlap dynamics. Simulate generate hit events. Collision. Simulate 6. Here generate overlap events is on. That's the important part for now. Overlap component other actor. What happens when I go here? Let's just test it out. Body index from sweepers. Overlapping component. Primitive component object reference. Control C. Maybe it's fine to just let's just check if it works. Property greetings. Of course. Yeah, we can't do that as easy as this anymore. We have to get the reference to our safe low blueprint, of course. Let's make this bigger again. Let's get our all actors of class and save and load. And then get a copy and from here we get our greetings and this time we takes set. So by the way, if you have any questions of what I'm doing, if my babbling doesn't make sense to you, then just ask a question. So delay, what did I do last time? 3 seconds, I believe. Let's check it. Yeah, 3 seconds. Let's get another and set it back after 3 seconds. So let's see if he has any more complaints. Compile it. No, it's okay now. Save. And now we can check if it works. We go close to him. Yeah, he greets. Okay. It actually works. Now for some reason the scene doesn't start. Huh? And that's because, yeah, of course. Show message log, blueprint error, branch event test map. Yeah, that's what I thought. Open level blueprint. Where is it? Here is it. This greetings, of course, doesn't work anymore. We don't have it anymore. Save and load. Get a copy. And let's get our greeting. Okay, let's compile and save. And let's check again. I have to remove that on the left. And now it works. Wonderful. So that means we can create hitbox trigger volumes on an actor itself, so we don't have to make this separately. It's quite useful because we want to talk to different and maybe different NPCs are in the world, and now we have actually a template for creating them. Maybe just other options will pop up. Maybe someone has a quest for you, to some other you just can say hi or something like that, and so on. And yeah, let me, because this is getting a little bit annoying, ignore the print string here. That's mostly for testing things or showing you something, and I don't need to show you that Yeah, we are in safe 01. Okay, now the first thing we have to do is to change our widget to something interactive. And for that I have to find out where did I put my widget. That's here. Let's keep this a little bit like this. Let me see. How big is it? Maybe we stretch it a little bit in length. Canvas and left, right. Let's see. 700, 700. Then image. I don't really want you anymore. Let's just for now kind of choose a color or something like that. I don't know why, but I kind of use standard always blue when I just test things or so. I think that comes from Final Fantasy VII because the default widgets are blue. You could change the colors, but every time I change the colors in Final Fantasy VII, it feels wrong to me. I don't know why. I will put in here a vertical box and yeah, kinda. Let's see how it looks when we do 50, 50, 50, 50. And now I want to have 3 different buttons here. We'll create the first one. Let's make this blue too. Let me copy this, paste. Let's just make 3 options for now, and let's make the text bigger. 36. That's maybe too big. 36. Could work. And 36. Could even be a little bit bigger. Let's take 38. I mean, as big as possible. We still can change the widget in the widget size itself, how it will be displayed. 42, 42. Yeah, that should be fine. So the first thing is talk. So we kind of will say hi to our NPC or something like that, and second, or have a dialogue, greet. When we press on greet, we will do our gentleman greeting with lifting the head and so on. And the last one will be close. So we can close this widget. It's maybe not necessary. We can have here a different option, but just to have some options here. And yeah, let's for now save. Compile this thing here. Now let's see how it looks like. And I'm already worried. You know why? Yeah, maybe this won't work. Let's go into our NPC viewport. We only see the image here. Let's get our widget interaction and let's see if we can do it here. Or let me check how it looks in the world. There it is, and doesn't seem like I see the buttons. Too bad. It's not because it's too small, I believe. No, that's the useless one. Yeah. So it seems you can only have an image. Let me test out different things here. Let me, as example, put in a progress bar. Do we see at least this? Oh my god. um, Let me make everything normal. It's kind of annoying. Why does it show it like this? I mean, I see the progress bar, but what the hell? It's like the widget size, it's draw size. Doesn't change anything. Timing policy, draw size. Manually draw. Doesn't change anything here. Pivot. Diamond pivot point at the widget is placed relative to the positions. Yeah, that's not really good. Maybe that's the problem why I went away from these widgets. But just the image it showed more or less correctly, when I remember. right? I mean the image E was correct. Oh, you know what? That could be something. Where is it? This could be the problem. Yeah. Oh, let's check this out. How this looks. Yeah, that was the problem. Okay, we learned something new. So we have to consider the complete widget. It kind of makes sense actually, but my problem, we don't see everything, right? Or do we see everything? Anyway, let's position this. Above the head. Let's make it smaller. That was the useless one. A little bit higher. So this one here is maybe too far down, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I anyway don't need that particularly. Oh, look at that. That's kind of annoying. Why doesn't it draw? Is that the draw size? But it didn't change anything when I changed here. That's kind of annoying. How can I find out in which how I can create my widgets so it looks fine? Is that just testing? Because that does nothing here, the draw size. Draw size as desired. What happened now? That's not really working. Or is that... No, with the draw size. No, this does absolutely nothing. Oh, thank you, now you fucked up everything here. Great. I don't want collision here. Or do I want to? Maybe I need to. Why is this happening? Why is this happening? Oh, look at that. Still not correct. But maybe we can work with it. With the pivot. Okay. Just more or less location. This does just nothing. Absolutely. Now it does something. Okay. Was it because this? Okay, interesting. But why didn't anything change when I added here something last time? Let's check this out. Okay. We learn every day something new. Have to. How much is the whole thing? Now we get somewhere. That's kind of what we have in our widget here. Yeah. So it is. Why aren't this cut screen size? Oh, okay. This is around one. No, wait. 1500. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10. So 500 is 10. We are at 8.5. Do I need to get the calculator for that? Anyway, it's around 1900. That's a little bit annoying here. And when I do this here, to break again. Why? Yeah, anyway, we have to work, just test things with this here. So, let me put this a little bit more up. Yeah, then we work with nice big, I don't need you anymore. Let's Try 10 times, it's a little bit big. It's probably still too big. Oh, could work. Yeah, that's okay. It doesn't have to look good right now. It just has to kind of work. So now I have to do something else because now is really the question, can we interact with this blueprint above this guy's head here? I will just try get my player control, set input mode game only. Let's not do that. Move this a little bit away. It would be nice if it works. So the idea is that I can select the things with the mouse. I mean, maybe I will just waste my time today and it won't work, and you have to do it with a widget that comes on the screen and not hovers over the... I mean, would there be a great disadvantage with that? We just would have one more step between. But let's test it out first. It will just give us, if I'm honest, we just will get more options to kind of design our games. But I'm still interested if it will work. If it ends up to be a good idea, I don't know. That's why it's experimental. Yeah. So now we have to find our widget. And that's the question, can we get our widget from our NPC? Do we need a widget in focus? Let's check that out. What we also need, maybe we don't need a widget in focus. We also need is our mouse cursor. Like I said, that's for activating things with a mouse cursor. If you don't want a mouse cursor in your game, then this is maybe not already not for you. But it's not bad if we know, kind of like, yeah, we can use that in a different way or so. We have this option. Let me check. You see our mouse. I will move a little bit closer. Doesn't seem like I can interact in any way with that. So let's get... I have to change that later on when we move on, when it works. I will do that differently, but now... where is our actor class? Come on. NPC. Get widget. Which component object widget object? Yeah, it doesn't work like this. Oof. Let's see. Oh no, oh no. Seems nothing to happen. Okay, this was probably a complete waste of time. Maybe we can make it so it will work. Right now I can't interact with this. It's like there's nothing there for my mouse. I mean, another way to do it, another possibility maybe is, instead of this thing here, I will keep that somewhere. Maybe we'll need it again. I will create the widget. Create widget. Interaction test. I will try to do it like this. Because when we just create the widget, we don't immediately put it on the screen. Doesn't feel like I can interact with it. Huh? Nope. Look at that. Widget interaction component. With the viewport for hardware input from the true mouse and keyboard, this widget will more or less react like regular 2D widgets in the viewport. Again, it can and will steal focus from the viewport. That's okay. If you're making a VR game, definitely do not change this to true. We don't make a VR game. This option should only be used if you're making what would otherwise be a normal menu for a game just in 3D. If you also need the game to remain responsive and for the player to be able to interact, that's the important part with UI and move around the world, such as a keypad on a door. Use the widget interaction component instead. What's the widget interaction component? Widget interaction component. Ah, that's this one here. But here I can't. You know what? Let's try it out. What happens? You see that? However, we lose. No, we don't lose anything. No, that works. That works. That works. You see? Do you see it? You can interact with it. Cool, cool, cool. Yeah, sometimes it's just this one little thing you have to put on that makes all the difference. My problem is with the widget interaction. I haven't figured that out yet. Virtual user index. Because I can't set any the right widget in here. On hovered card when the whole widget component changes the interaction component changes. Oh, maybe you have to do it like kind of like this. That will be called when physics volume has been changed. The component activated and component deactivated. Maybe we have to set this up over here. But I mean, that works. So what we want to do, we want to kind of change now our setup. Because now, first thing, of course, nothing happens when we press the button over this thing. Also, I don't want to see this widget when I'm so far away from my person, the NPC. So if I, and the other thing is, if I walk closer, we have our greeting scene here. But the greeting scene we want when we press on the second thing. So what we want to do is when we come closer to him, instead of this scene here, we want that the widget pops up. That's the idea. So I'm thinking. Widget class. Let's see. Is there a function set widget set widget? But that's not the class, right? Target is widget component. Widget class. Is there only class too? Get all widget of a class. Can I set visibility widget? How does it help? Or I can do it differently. I can do it in here. So yeah, that's maybe possible. That's maybe even the easiest way. I don't. Let me call here the complete thing. I will set here the visibility. Sure. First thing is hidden. Let's create a variable widget visibility. Let's put here a question mark on it because it's a true or false question. Let's get this here in. We make branch. Then let's see. Yeah, the problem is I could now put two different results in here, but it is a little bit buggy with Unreal Engine if we do two return nodes. I had problems in the past with that, so we have to do it a little bit more complicated than that. Maybe in a new version they changed it. Widget visibility. And then I will set the visibility on and off. So I have to think about. So when it's false, when this one is. Let me compile it for a moment. On default value false, we don't want to see it. And then when we hit our trigger volume or collision volume, it's now called. We set this one on true and we make it visible. That's all we have to do. And our default value is also hidden. Okay. Go to our NPC and we kind of change this one here up. I will keep this one here because we will need that then in the widget itself. And here we create the widget, create widget tag interaction test. Return value, we get our widget visibility and we set this to on. Let's see if this works. We don't see anything. That's good. We come closer and it doesn't pop up. Great. That didn't work. Why didn't it work? Should be fine here. I think I've done the right layer. Interesting. Why did I do something like that? What's the idea behind this one here? And why was it visible anyway before? Does that change something here? No. No, it doesn't change anything. I mean, I still have the overlay on, right? Like the collision. Collision. Generate overlap events on this one. Yeah, we have to create another box then, so we can't walk too far again. But that doesn't really matter right now. Why does this not work here? And why did I do this here? Because that was completely useless. Of course, when we did this here, one moment, that worked, right? Come on. Yeah, this works. Interaction time. So do we have to make that different? Another way is just to change the size to make it so small that you almost don't see it. When you come close, it makes the widget bigger. But it should work like this. Because when we hit our overlap box, we just activate the spawn here, and the spawn should activate the visibility of our thing here. Ah, is there another way to do it? So that didn't work, okay. Did I do something wrong there? Double checked it now. If it works that way, it should work like I built it here. I think I can delete this one here. Set visibility box, set visibility default seams, set visibility of the component if during game use is turn on off. Yeah, sure, but I don't really understand how this function works here. Usability form pointed to each other. Yeah, let's kind of try this. Let's forget about this one here. Let's play and see. Now it's here again. Let's. Oh. Let's put this in here. And play it now. It's probably still visible. Yeah. What happens when we press this on this ball here? It's still visible. So what do I do with this function? Not have an output or anything like that. Set visibility of the component if during game use this to turn on and off. How? Target is scene component. Ah, of course. Let me check this. Of course. Sorry about that. Are you going away now? If we... No. Still doesn't make sense in any way. Let me try this differently. So now, just a little bit experiment with this one here. Let's create here an event, custom event, add custom event. Let's call it visibility, shortcut, test map. Let's get our NPC. Oh, yeah. So class, actors of class. Let's get our NPC. Let's get a copy. Visibility. And I forgot to compile this one here. shouldn't be so difficult to just set the visibility on and off. So let me check this one out. Are you showing now? No, you're not showing now. Okay. What happens when I press on this one here? Now we're showing. Now with that we can maybe do something. So again, you're not showing up now, right? No, you're not showing up. Okay. So it isn't that difficult. So I don't need this one here, I just need a copy of this one here. I connect this and I say yes here. So we don't see it. I go closer to you. Are you popping up? It pops up. So simple. It's always simple if you know how to do it, right? The only problem is kind of this thing here. It annoys me a little bit. It would be nice if we could, as default, say you're not visible without this event here. No, I don't see anything. We maybe have to work with this. Event variable widget edit one location spell element zero space 10 draw size manually redraw. Don't want to fuck with this stuff anymore. Window focusable tick when off screen layers shared layer which component screen layer set simulate physics here in the rendering background code T blend mode visible whether to completely draw the primitive false the primitive is not drawn does not cast a shadow. Let's try this out here. I will disconnect this here and see what exactly happens. It's not visible. Can we change it? Yeah, okay, that's what we want. Now the only thing we also want is if we go away, it has to disappear again. So I will keep this one. I don't need you anymore. Let's just take you away here. Okay. This widget here, and we have here not the widget, of course, the box here on component begin overlap, end overlap. I get the similar functions from before, and like these two things. Here it's selected, and here it's not selected. Great. So we have our guy here looking around. See a hot girl, we go to her, and we want to talk to her, greet her, or run away. That works. I can press the buttons. That works. I can walk away, and it disappears. That's exactly what I wanted. We go in, we go out, it disappears. Maybe the radius has a yeah, maybe instead of a square, it's maybe better to take a sphere. Instead of a cube, maybe it's better to take a sphere. But in general, that's okay. And then maybe make a little bit a bigger, this the complete thing a little bit from a bigger distance, so you don't have to go so close to her. Let me check this one here for a moment. Can I? Oh, it would be nice if I just could change the. I mean, it works with a box, but there should also be. Maybe if I would do it again, I would use a sphere collision. It's maybe better. However, it doesn't matter because we don't really jump. Yeah, I mean, it matters because of the corners. You know what? I will not here. Add sphere collision. Zack. I will change not box sphere. Scale. Let's see how 3 times is. It's not that big. Let's take 10 times and see. Is it only? Yeah, maybe that's a little bit too big. We will check it out. Okay, like these 2 things here. Yeah, what I do now is just kind of like optimization, if you can call it like this. I mean, the testing worked very well after some trouble at the beginning, until we understood how it works. Generate overlap, that's okay. No, however, collision block all. And for now, then we go to report and we kind of set this around our characters, so we don't walk all the time too far. Let's zero down the coil. This one here. Put it a little bit higher. Zack x-axis 1. Okay. Then here probably 0.5 or something is probably okay. Yeah, something like that. So maybe it works. Let's hope it works. So how close do I around here? Yeah, I think that's not too bad. And can and we can't go too far anymore. So that's perfect. That's how I want. At least that's how I imagined that it works. Let's say it like this. Yeah. So now we add to this widget to greetings. I don't think we don't need close. Let's just not. This could be something else. We take this button. I will press on pressed, and let's forget about this. Let's here. We don't need them. And PC event graph. We still have here our Zach. Greeting. And we save and compile that, and let's see if this already works or if there is a problem again. So we come closer to her and we greet her, and it works. It works. Oof. It's actually quite easy if you know what. I probably will do a tutorial about that, what we did today. So I mean, I kind of, and you can do now different options. So I was thinking about when we talk to her, then we will put up another widget with a dialogue option, something like that. But I think that's enough for now. Let's jump into Blender. What do you guys? Yeah, let's jump to Blender. I think that's enough for now. That's really what I was imagining how it should work, and it kind of worked. So now maybe one little thing is what's now the problem? Now it works. When we look from the back, the widget is gone. Yeah, of course it's gone because we are not, but even if we close enough, we don't see it. I mean, that's a small detail we don't really have to do now, but depending on how our camera looks, we don't see it. The question is if you want to have it if you approach it from the back, a person from the back, maybe you don't want to, or you want to have even different options. But what we could do is kind of create a second widget and just move it around for 180 degrees, and then when we come from the back we have the same options there. But that's for later on. So I will make a 5 minutes break. Yeah, maybe not 5 minutes, but just a short break. So I will shut down Unreal Engine and then I open up Blender, and then we work on our Sandworm, or my Sandworm. Yeah, I'm always happy when we end up, when I kind of today, that's why I like this experimental stuff. I hope it's also a little bit interesting for you guys. I will, like I said, I will probably, if I kind of find out things like that, then I will probably make a tutorial about it, so you can check it back later on. and things like that. Um, yeah, but like I said, I personally like it because today I learned definitely something new that opens up new options for me for my game project. If I will end up using it, I will see. It's it will. I have to test that when kind of game some the game has some more structures, but it's definitely interesting because I want the play to have different interaction options like this. So I will see. Yeah. So I will take a short break and then we do work in Blender. And I'm back. And here is Blender. I started a new file and yeah, let's see how far we get in the next hour or two or something like that. One little moment, I have to give you this picture back here for a second. Not here. Enemies. Okay, now I can come back here. Okay, here I started a new file. I saved it in the right spot on the Sandworm, and I press F5 because I like to work in this perspective. Because we uploaded to Unreal Engine 4, I will change here to centimeters, and I can delete the square. So now, when you look at our Sandworm here, first we have to think, when you create something, what is first the pose we want to start in. So if you take a human, we go with our T pose most of the time, or the modified T pose I showed you. I don't know if that has a name. I mean, where you take the arms a little bit down, and it has to be a very natural pose. So for the Sandworm, it's quite easy to select one. I mean, I won't take my end pose, that's quite complicated already. I mean, when I just take him straight, that's why I draw him like this. We have a much simpler job. And you see here we have very repetitive forms and very simple forms we can start with. We have these rings, and I will start with a ring, with one of the middle ring, and I will put this ring kind of zero it down on my Z axis, and the reason is because our tail, the part that's under the sand, just the lower part of our creature here is under the sand, and that's and where is the sand? That's the our floor for we put our we put our player character on. So I kind of want him to be under that the tail is under the floor. I then have to, of course, to see that we don't have any problems with collisions and so on, but that will for sure work. Maybe. Let me think about that. That thing with the collisions. Maybe I didn't think about that. Maybe the character will fall down after that. Yeah, I have to think about that. That's now a little bit stupid. Should I only make the upper half? But no, when we do animations, yeah, we'll see. Maybe we have to do something special then. I will still first make just a complete worm, and I can then always maybe detach something. put in a morph target, anything like that. But no, it works. It's not a problem because we use our collision volumes for that. It's not our 3D mesh that defines the collision. That we just did that in Unreal Engine. Sorry about that. Of course. So I will go with my plan. So first I will do one of my rings in the center here, maybe this one or this one. Sure, this one here. So I'm just that you kind of realize the size of this guy. He's around 7 to 8 meters long, and when he comes up and is in attack mode, he's still between 2 and 3 meters high, maybe more like 2 to 2.5 meters high. Yeah, and maybe the diameter of one wing is, yeah, how much is it? Maybe 1 meter. That's probably about correct. So I mean, without the arms, it's around 1 meter. At least I will go for the beginning with that. I then can always change things up. So I will add a mesh, and we have here this torus mesh that is actually almost like as we want it as a ring. I smooth it and it really looks like a ring. It's going to edit mode. Let's kind of check its size. Let's see, do a lot higher. Do I have to be in object mode? Dimensions x 2.5 meters, sat 50 cent. What's the height of one ring? I didn't think about that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. With the tail 19 rings, so around 20 rings, then the head 7 to 8 meters. And take the head away. Maybe 160, 0.8 meter. I mean, let's maybe around 10 centimeters. Does that make sense? Probably. Let's see. Edit mode. Let me think. What are the dimensions here? 2.5, 2.5. So let's just edit it, and as 2.5. What's that? One, 2.5, and we want to go to 1. So this is 2/5 smaller, but this 2/5 is a fifth is 20, so 0.4, I think. And we don't have the diameter we have in the x-axis, so that this is the radius. so it should be 0.2, so it should be half of it. Let's see if I made the right calculations. 50 centimeters, 50 centimeters in this directions. Yeah, I think I did the right one. And then we come to 10 centimeters. That's what I almost calculated before. Yeah, I think that's right for one ring. Let's go back into edit mode and why won't you? No. Now we are, I want to zero it down. I don't want it in the center. The zero Z axis, so GZ and 5 up. And that's where we want our ring. Now I don't want the whole crap inside here. And deselect that C, probably everything here I don't need. So let's delete this vertex here. And I think I can leave it like this, or do I need to delete it? I mean, that's one ring. Then we add up here from this one here. So now the question is, should I already add textures to this one here? I mean, if I do textures now and then I copy my ring later on, I don't have to create new textures. I can just copy the textures and then I can a little bit rotate my ring, and then I get different, maybe a more random pattern on my textures. I think I will try it like this. Probably some 3D artists that watch this will go crazy. No, finish first your creature and then add texture. But I kinda have at the moment a pretty clear idea how I want to do my textures. So maybe it will end up easier like this. Maybe. Hopefully. So, yeah, maybe I should say that for you, maybe it's better to make the textures at the end, as soon as you have everything. But like I said, so maybe don't do it like this exactly, but my problem is a little bit that if you put everything in one, if you have your complete creature, and it's quite a big creature, I mean 7 to 8 meters, and you want to create textures for the complete thing, all in the same file, it may end up very strongly pixelated because it's so big. Of course you can make 4K textures if you want to solve this problem, but I anyway would recommend you to then separate the textures from each other. Problem is, when I have such a repetitive form, then it seems for me more logical to already add some texture to it, and then maybe in the end, so I have for every ring I make now, I already have my texture pattern, and then I can add at the end maybe some details here and there. And yeah, I hope you understand what I mean. So I think when I have such repetitive forms, then it's maybe easier to put the texture on one ring and then just copy and paste the ring, and then you have already the texture on the second ring. So I will try doing this. We will see if it ends up okay or if I have to make many more changes. But so now I kinda can learn how we do texture drawing. I go open up this window down here a little bit. I go to ue4 imaging. I went on the wrong one. Here I went ue4 image, and we go here to edit mode. We select everything we want, and I press U. And now you can here see unwrap or smart ue4 project unwrap. Smart ue4, you can give a little distance between things. That is often helps a lot. And then we get our ue4 map. And here, absolutely, if you want to make this is extremely automatic, and you see it's kind of mess. If you want to use a 2D tool or something like that to make your texture, you maybe have to do it differently. You have to make it from hand. I'm not sure how you can do that. I think you have to select a smaller amount of vertexes and then go from there and then put it together yourself. I honestly never used it. I just always made one automatic, and then because first I'm not doing this a lot, texture drawing. So maybe you don't want to take my word for it. There are for sure a lot of tutorials how to optimize this process here, but I will keep it simple for me right now and do it like I always did, and make the automatic form automatic unwrapping, and then I will draw here in 3D. Okay, so I will go here to texture paint. That was a little bit too premature. First we have to get the new material. I call this ring S3 for Sandworm. Then I go here, I add a new texture. I also call this ring. Now we can go to texture plating, add a new diffuse color, ring S3, diffuse color, that's okay. You can call it like this. Oh, we didn't have to create it here, okay. No. Okay, anyway. Down here we have all, if also to open our ring diffuse color. Why? Yeah, it's kind of annoying. No, that's our ring. That's our diffuse color. And which one do I? Yeah, here I have the normal. Now I have to press here F so Blender will remember it. Then I can here select how I want to draw. I will fill first, give it a color, and I will choose my color. Pretty sure I can. This is a little bit. Where can I? So I will try to get. Actually, where is the? Yes, you realize that I'm not doing this very often here. Oh, here. That's what I wanted. Take this one here. And anyway, let's see. This kind of brownish but very bright sandy looking around here. You know what? I can actually check here what color I choose. This is kind of different here. Okay. Anyway, B8 does that help me? I don't know. No, okay, I can't because it doesn't use the same system. Yeah, that would have been nice. Maybe around this color, maybe. Yeah, let's check it out. It's maybe a little bit on the darker side. Can do that here. Okay. I will fill this with this color I just choose. Yeah, I mean, it's around the same color. It has maybe a little bit too much reddish in it. I don't know. No, that's similar. Oh, it gets too much green. Maybe like this. I kind of like the other one better. It's something between. I think I went more into green here, actually. Oh well, let's try something between. Yeah, something like that. I will make notes about what exactly I took here. That's red 0.78, green around 7, blue 0.453, or probably 45 is okay. Just so if I now I don't want to fill anymore. I want to text draw. So we have here our stamp. We can change the size of the stamp. Let's keep it with this for now. And you see here immediately forgot what I did before. 0.78, 0.7, and 0.45. Okay, I will go a little bit or a lot darker actually. and here for the ring ends here. That was a little bit too much. Yeah, the reason is you kind of can draw a little bit shadow on it that makes your textures more lively, but you also can have to remember that the engine itself has also a lighting system and will cast shadows, so you may not absolutely need to do it. I'm doing it because we have here then a connection to the next ring, and I just want to have a dark transition between them, so you may not see the transitions are good, that there is a this is a different object, a different texture I choose. Yeah. It's quite hard with a mouse if you have kind of for 3D drawing tools, or for 2D drawing tools and so on for PC. This thing kind of pad or something like that. This will help you a lot. Luckily, this is not a texture I have to be precise. If I would make a texture that I have to be very precise, I probably would do it in a 2D, so in 2D and not in 3D. Positive thing if you draw it in 3D, you immediately see the result, and you also don't need to position your texture at the right point. So let's see, I used a lot more here, down here than up here. Maybe I should give it a little more. It's probably better to give it a little more, because the two rings will overlay each other, and then something like that. So what we also could do now is to make a little bit a better transition. We have some other tools like smear. Could go smear it in here a little bit, or a little bit outside. So we have a nice transition. Let me check the software. This one does. I don't see really a big difference right now. Yeah, but you can smear is quite interesting. Let's do a little bit higher. See, you can make more interesting transition without having to create different colors. Give it a more random transition. A lot of black here, so I mostly go inside. Maybe it's a little bit too strong. and you see it looks completely different. It looks more interesting. Absolutely, for a creature or something like that, you kind of want more random looking texture for its skin, instead of just kind of one color over the whole thing. But if you have now more mechanical thing, maybe then you want to have a different kind of, or if you have kind of clothes with texture. But even then, you clothes get dirty, and also machines get dirty and so on. So you kind of want a little bit of randomness in the textures. Also, if you wear clothes, you know, you will change its form a little bit. Let's go a little bit darker here. And you will also cast shadows on different places. Yeah, you just kind of think a little bit about where are shadows anyway, and make this for sure a little bit darker. I mean, even if the player won't really see it, just the overall, if he doesn't look at the details, even the overall presence is kind of important. And as more as details you put into, as more work you put into, it should look hopefully better. So now I'm thinking about to make the top ring a little bit brighter than the rest, and then also smear it around. I think that would be interesting. Texture out, and let's take the brightest one. I would like it a little bit bigger, and then let's change the radius. Something like that. It's okay if I'm not completely straight here. I will smear it after. And then I'm going with the smear function. Make my textures a little bit more interesting looking, more random. And like I said, I mean, maybe the end result is not like I wish it looks, and then I may have to go back and change these things, but for now, you see, I kind of have idea how I want it, so why not trying do it from the beginning, like you imagine it, and then see at the end the result, and if you're not happy, you always can spend more time on it, work on the textures and so on. I hope that makes sense. it's all a question about how much effort you want to put in something. I myself said now I will put in this project my absolute maximum effort. I told myself, even if it takes 10 years to create this game, I think every second I spend on it will make it better. So I don't care if it takes 10 years to finish the game. But I'm for sure a product I'm proud of, and that hopefully other people also enjoy. So I will take my time. I will redo stuff if it's necessary. I will test stuff like we did before, and so on. I mean, I worked probably in the last 3 years. I probably learned Unreal Engine probably every day. Blender probably not every day, but I was every day in Unreal Engine, and still I wouldn't. You just saw if you watched the beginning of the stream that I absolutely don't know every corner, and the problem is a little bit that I worked very focused on specific things I wanted to learn, and yeah, and so I still miss a lot of. I don't know Unreal Engine, every corner of Unreal Engine. I hope I will in the future know most of the things, but of course that takes time. So you kind of have to. I mean, you have to do it like this. You have to take priorities and to learn software, and then you can start. As soon as you get kind of feeling about the software, you can you kind of know your way around it. You can start to experiment. You may have an idea like I had before with the widget, and you have an idea how you want it, and you kind of just experiment with it, try it out, and if you're lucky like I was before, it ends up as you plan to do it. If not, is always the internet um, and Google and forums and YouTube and people that can help you. And maybe it would have been faster if I just went on the internet and asked if someone could explain it to me. You saw it's actually pretty simple to do it, but it's also kind of more rewarding. You learn more if you try it yourself, but you of course have to get to this point where you can try it yourself. Yeah, I think I like. Yeah, it gives a lot, just this little bit different colors, giving it a little bit more randomness in it. It changes a lot. Changes a lot. I like it. Let's save this for now. Yeah, now we have to give it a little bit more details. Sorry. I also have to think about the little arms. So also at the end, I kind of want that these arms kind of move around a little bit to put a little bit life into this guy here. But you see, we have these arms. I think there will be like 8 arms around his ring. I have to think about, would it make sense that they are more random placed, or does it make sense that they are on every ring at the same place? I mean sense in form of nature. Would nature do it symmetrical? It's kind of hard to say right now. Maybe I have to check to that at the end. But I will for sure. I think it makes sense for one ring to have um, to have them symmetrical, and then I can always kind of rotate the other rings. Yeah, let me check. Yeah, we're getting good. So yeah, so now, like I said, I have to think about, here are arms looking out. So there I have to get darker again at the place where I want to get my arms out. So we go back to the draw, and I said eight arms. That means we of course have 4 here on 90 degrees, and then 45 degrees we have also a little arm looking out. So it will be here. I didn't think about the size so far. It will be roundish, so we kind of can work with the radius. So I will go to a little bit the darker one, and then to the complete darker. That's definitely too big. How about 50? Yeah, I can then smear it out. Let's do it 50. Come on, come on. Maybe a little bit bigger. Let's see. 60. Yeah. Okay. Then we go to 45 degree. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. Anyway, make it darker here. I will smear it anyway, so I shouldn't think too much about it. Where are we now? So here. 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 This around there. I've got one here. Oof, let's just see that this works a bit against me here. I should have done the 90 degrees first, I think. Yeah, because this one here is a little bit. We will smear it, it's okay. This one here is probably also not too much in the center when we look at it. Okay, smear it, and this one here, yeah. Like that, okay. Then I will take quite dark one. Oof. Unless it's such a dark color, probably not. Yeah, that's better. Okay, now we have to smear it a little bit. Let's make the radius small again. I think it's better to go a little bit inside here. Something like that. Yeah, if you have questions, anything you want to add, feel free to do it. If you do something different, you can tell me. Maybe for this it would have been useful to make the arms first, to be honest. Yeah, I will do that. I will smear it a little bit, then make the arms, and then look how well it looks like, and then I still can't change it. Smear and draw differently. What I have to think about is how rough I want the texture then looking at the end, so it makes sense to look for something like a normal map. Normal map will bring a little bit depth and height to a flat object. So if there is some kind of pattern I can use, some kind of skin pattern for an animal or anything like that I can use to lay over my texture here and give it a little bit, you know, a more three-dimensional look. But I think I have to see when everything is finished if that makes sense or not. And let's get here the white a little bit in. I'm pretty sure if you put in 2D drawing, you will know different techniques to do effects and things like that. I'm not too experienced in these things, so many things is just kind of comes from the guts, just trying it out and see if it looks fine, and should I just don't see that everything went wrong, I can always look for some tutorials, some help or something like that. Yeah. So I think the best thing, maybe what we should have done earlier, is I will now create an arm. First we have to save this one here. When we press on F, Blender will remember it. Will only remember the name actually. That's kind of the problem. How can I say? We have to save it on our PC, so Blender will, next time when you start. But if I would now shut down Blender and open it up, it won't find it because we didn't save the image itself. We just saved the connection between the image and Blender, so it won't find the image. So we have to save it. save as image or save a copy. I'm not sure exactly. I think save as image and go in here and I will immediately put it in my project, so it's already in there. Play character I have. Let's make a new folder, enemies. Create new folder, and here Sandworm. Probably have to create this folders again in Unreal Engine, but that's okay. And I will save it here. Bring as the diffuse code. That's fine for me. Save it, and so now we have saved it for sure. I go out here, we will lose our texture. We can, if you want to look at it, press on material, and then we need a light source. What's with this one here? Distance a little bit, and not in the center, but from the outside. Yeah, so we can look at our textures with a light source. So if you want to brighten everything, we have to kind of set different light sources everywhere. That's a little bit annoying. Okay. Okay, now I will create a new object. We could immediately go with a cone. How does that look? No, that I don't like that. I will add a new object first. Alt G. I will go back to solid mode because that's a little bit annoying here. I go into edit mode and I delete this one here. And I will instead make and add a circle. Put it for now to 0. And it's quite big. Don't need it that big. Do we need as many points? Yeah, let's. I don't know. Probably not. 19. And here I'll make it smaller, something like that. Then with E I can expand it. I will do that. I will go immediately smaller. 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 And how far am I? How big is it? Maybe now it would be nice to have the textures again. Oh, it's kind of probably a little bit thick, but I can change that. Let's look at the textures. Yeah. Maybe I will make them a little bit smaller in diameter, but longer. I think that's better. Now our smearing is a little bit big, but that's okay. We can always change this dark texture. Let's take a look. Yeah, I think that's better. Yeah, I'm thinking, is that enough? Do I need more? Should I make it longer? It's hard to say. No, I think that's okay actually. I'm going to edit mode, and so I said these are not stingers or phones or anything like that, so I don't want too pointy ends here. I will take one point here. I go maybe not this one. Maybe better taking the top one, and I will press E. Only expand this one here, and here. That's already too much. A little bit here, and yeah, I can make it really flat actually. That's okay. So now we make rectangulars. That means you press the right button. Always select 4 points, press F and you fill it. This is now a little bit annoying work here. But if you want to make it correct, you have to do it kind of like this. I always press the wrong button here. Fill. Fill. Come on. Fill. Almost done. Come on. And it doesn't match up. Why? I just realized it's a little bit. I do have now 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Why? Doesn't make sense. Yeah, you have to do another line. My phone is a little bit in the way. Control R, we can make an extra line. And now I thought we made 32. Of course, now I realize I made a problem I calculated wrong, but it's okay. It worked out in the end. I will also add another ring here, quite around here, and that's now annoying. Make it a little bit flatter end, and yeah, that's fine. So like I said, I will make them kind of move around at the end. We probably won't get to that today. Let's see, almost 3 hours. Yeah, a little bit longer. Maybe for sure finish a ring. That would be nice. Yeah, I will save. I will go to edit mode. I select everything here. Is there something else? No. I will smart ue4 map. Okay, we get here our new one. Pretty straightforward here, and create a new material. This is black Sandworm. I go to texture painting, add a new diffuse color, legacy diffuse, and also add it here. Perfect. Now I will fill it with the base color we had before. That's the one. Okay, and I will make this pretty simple. At the end I will make it dark, and then I make it quite bright, almost yellowish at the end. First we go to the dark one around here. Texture draw. Are you changing? Ooh. Why? Oh no. I know what's the problem. Probably. Edit mode. Control N. Yeah, that was the problem. The inside was out. Texture painting. Here. This one here darker. Then make it bright up here. And then kinda almost really a more yellowish. What's yellow? Green and red. Let's see how that looks. Not too sure about that. Maybe I should go really bright. That's better. No, that doesn't look better. So it's well, now I will speed this stuff a little bit, so yeah, so it doesn't look. I think we can go smearing. I really like the smearing stuff because it gives it this really kind of randomness. Quite easy. Let's get the dark a little bit more out here. That's okay. And then here the same. Let's go first with the bright into the dark one. Oh, what's here? What's happened here? Seems almost not working anymore here. Maybe I need more details. Could be a problem. And I absolutely don't like that here. You don't see too much in otherwise maybe you have to put it. I don't see it here. Maybe because it's exactly at the corner. Yeah, but something like that. Let's take a look how it looks like. Wow. Are these the corners? It's really difficult to say. Yeah, that's ugly. So probably I have to correct that in the 2D. I'm not too sure. I think the problems are the corners, so I will kind of push these colors out here and hope that works. We don't get these black lines. Because they are quite ugly. If possible, I don't want them. Yeah, that's now really inside. It's not that important anymore. Let's see if that seems to work or not. I think now up here I don't see anything, but I could be wrong. Yeah, maybe I have to do more. That's really annoying. Oh, that's very down, far down. Let's be careful here a little bit. Another way to do it, maybe that's a good idea. That's something I can try now first before I go further with that. Maybe if I add a little bit of thickness to it. No, it won't change. Then I have to go with that. Oh. Try this. Because it has to be there at the corners, because otherwise I will see the black lines in here. I don't see them. Ah, too much. It's okay. Did it change something? I think it works. Here I don't see any lines anymore. So let's go on with that. I'm sorry about that. Maybe I should do that after the stream. But these lines really annoy me right now. So yeah, you see you can work in 2D and 3D here in Blender. And if you want to even bring more details in, you can save this image somewhere and open your 2D. Yeah, that's better. Now I see the lines. And yeah, you can do it in your 2D. What you like more 2D software, depending on what you like more. But you see, you can already do quite a lot here in Blender. This is already too much. You only see until the dark spots here. Start from here. Oh, I have to go closer. Almost done. Yes, if you want to create a game from scratch, you just have to know everything takes its time. And if you want really to make an interesting looking game, game that is interesting to play, you put time in every little aspect, and I wouldn't recommend you to take shortcuts, even if it seems annoying to do something. I think it's a lot better now. I have a little bit trouble with this part here. I change it. Yeah, but that's okay. Here is still a black spot. Where could that be? Let's really see. Everything fine here. Everything fine down here. Yeah. I don't see any changes. Yeah, okay. Maybe I can live with that. Okay. Let's save everything first. And then save as image, leg as red, diffuse color, that's fine. Save it. And now I will just copy this leg around my ring. This mode. Now I have to think how do I do that best way. 50. Yeah, I have to position it outside 45 degrees. Maybe I have to. Oh no, you know, there is a different way. How did that work? Ah, God, if that got me. I don't know how. Oh, that's stupid. I know there's a way you can choose your center as rotation points and so on. Oh, here I took the whole thing. Yeah, you have to be careful with that. Select everything. Yeah, probably better just with that. Then you are sure you selected everything. Now just got the feeling it wasn't in the center. That's has 80 degrees and should be around here. 90 degrees. No, we can hear. So, no, that was the wrong one. Here, 0. Okay, now this doesn't look too bad here. That's at 45 degrees. And here. Let's look with the textures on. Not with the textures, with the material on. Yeah. Around here. It has, like I said, it's a living creature, so it hasn't to be perfect. Otherwise, it may have to be as perfect as possible. And these are moving objects, these little arms, so now I have to go back to my let's see about, did I put it around the right position? This one looks a little bit strange, right? No, it's okay. It's just a perspective. Yeah. Now I will change a little bit the texture here. To be clear, these points here. Go a little bit back with the darkness. In here with the right color. I mean, it's not that difficult, but it takes its time. here. Let's take the darkness a little bit away here. We can need a little bit more. We need a little bit more. Okay. And that's fine. Here a little bit. Yeah, I think I have them all. And don't worry about the inside. No one will see the inside. Or at least it's not intended that people see the inside. So if we make changes, we have to save the image again. Otherwise, if we restart it, we will have the old result. Here we can go a little bit more, right one a little bit more. Yeah. I think we get somewhere with the details here. And yeah, the rest is details. Kind of want to do one more detail, and that's a little bit more random dark spots over the body. And kind of what I want to do with them then is creating two layers of texture, and on the top layer, and then I will kind of make these dark spots where kind of the sand sticks to the body of the worm, just these random spots everywhere, just to give it a little bit more detail, make it a little bit more interesting. I don't know how it will look at the end, but yeah, we will see. I think it could be interesting. Or anyway, having a little bit these darker spots or so it immediately makes it again a little bit more interesting to look at. So we'll do that. I will maybe make here a darker spot. Not fill, sorry. A little bit asymmetrical, not in the center. Then maybe here one, not too many. Here another one, a big one. So we have now 3. Maybe here another one. Yeah, I think that should be enough for one ring. And I'm going to smear again. Something like that. Like that here. Yeah, I think it already works. This one more bigger. And this one too. Smear it a little bit. Just with the smearing, don't try to make circles or something like that. That will look strange most of the times, except you want this effect. Go smear in kind of directions. I hope that makes sense. Yeah, I think it could be more, or should I make more of this? Maybe making a small one around here, but we have already two here, very close to each other. Let's keep it that way for now. That's something I still can add later on a little bit. Yeah. Save the image here and just to be sure, save this image too. And then we can go out of texture painting for now. I think more or less we have now one ring. It definitely took a moment, but I think that's okay. Now what I can do is I will join these two things together. I won't do much longer today. Just here we have to join just a little bit. Here we have the join function. Now everything is in one, but the textures are still, there are still two textures, still two UV maps. No, there's only one UV map. No, but there are two inside saved. It works, don't worry. And what I can do now is add a second one. And you see, we copied everything, even the textures. That's why I wanted to do it like that. And now we can, as example, maybe 90 degrees and R Y 180 degrees. And now I have, maybe I want to give it more randomness. So now we have here a lot of emptiness. So 90 degree, let's look. Yeah, so we get a little bit more. Now I don't think that looks good. if the legs are over each other, so close to each other. Maybe I will do a 45 degree. No, not 45 degree. 22.5 degree. Let's see. I mean, of course, distance is not this much. They are closer to each other. I just want to. Yeah. Why not? A little bit like this. Yeah, now. That's how we can go on. Just checking, kinda that the pattern always looks a little bit interesting. A little bit random. Let's add a third one. Like I said, of course, this gap won't be this massive. These rings will be quite close to each other, and I will also connect them. Yeah, I can actually 10 centimeters is in the middle. That means 20 centimeters. Huh. Why? 15? Okay. And now, if I'm not... Okay. Sadly, they're not directly over each other. Wow, what happened? These points here. Of course not, because I did some switcher. Let's look at it. Yeah, kind of like this. So you see the dark comes together pretty good. There's an... Yeah. And then to bring them together, I can... Now it's a little bit annoying. I hoped these points would be already on each other, then it would have been quite simple. Now they're not on each other, but I can select both. Press Alt M and then merge at center as example, and then bring this. But maybe it's not. Maybe I shouldn't do that right now. It depends. I could also think about, instead of just taking one ring, I actually could take both rings and duplicate them and work a little bit faster. However, that would mean no, I still can select only one ring like this and change it. That's quite okay to work like this, and merging things together probably at the end. So let's go back to material and look at it. Let's first go to this one here. Select everything. Blender, and let's look at it. Yeah, you see, we don't want this pattern here. It immediately we start to get patterns and we kind of want to break them. Let's see how that looks. Yeah, it's probably still too close to each other. Let's do another 90-degree. No? Huh? How did that work? How the hell did that work? Oh no. Oh man. It's okay. Let's go back to... Oh, what's that? No, that's really strange. Is that just coincidence? Yeah, that's just coincidence. Oh man, that was confusing. Let's test this out. No, no, definitely not. Let's only go 45 degrees. Yeah. Let's break here the pattern. I don't like that too much here. Maybe we should change the top one. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's not interesting anymore for you guys. I don't like this one here. Yeah, I should stop. Or I lose myself in this, in rotating these things here around. Just wanna rotate the top one. A little bit. Actually, I could only rotate the ring. That would be also fine. Doesn't matter. Now I selected everything. So where did I had 4 at 1 point? So definitely let's change this one up here. Yeah, there are some things I not 100%. Maybe I did too many of this, or maybe I will take one away. Yeah, maybe I will take one away or so. You know, smearings here. But it's okay. I think I will stop here. Maybe I hoped I will go a little bit further. I took my time with the texture. I think that's fine. I think it gets definitely in the direction I want it to to be. Yeah, I kind of have to think about how much are these 4 rings now. It's at just 40 centimeters. 40. Yeah, but I said there are around 10 rings, 40 centimeters. Double that. It's only 80. Did I make the and everything 10? No, wait, wait. I said there were 20 rings with the tail, and then we didn't calculate the head, so we will end up with 160, and the head will be around 40 centimeters, around this size here. No, I think that should be fine. I think I'm still right, yeah. Anyway, yeah, we still have a lot to do, but I mean, the bot is almost done. The hard work we did with making one ring as interesting as possible, and now it's more copy and paste, and we have to merge it together after we look that we break as many patterns as possible. Of course, if we wanted it completely without pattern, completely randomness, we would have to draw every ring's texture for itself. But I think that is not necessary. I then have to think about how we do. Maybe. I'm just thinking about animations, how I want to do it. Maybe it would be better if we had a little bit between the rings, a little bit of a gap. It may make more sense for animations if you bend everything. Or I go with that and I will see how it looks like. I probably have to, for every ring, choose a bone. That's probably the best thing. It may take maybe a lot of bones for such a guy, but I think we can make the best animations like that. Yeah. Yeah, almost 3 hours 45 minutes. I'm working now. There probably will be streams that will end up to be longer than this one here, but I think we can end it here. I'm kind of thinking about should I go on or not. In a way I want to, in another way I have all different things to do, to be honest. I would say we end it here, and I will pick up with my Sandworm on Wednesday. And then we can kinda concentrate on the Sandworm. He probably concentrate on it, except something else comes up. Yeah, and then if we manage to finish him means not only the body, but also rigging it to an armature, making morph targets. You will see we have some special things like with the teeth. Like I said, I want that the arms are moving around a little bit, going up and down. So I will probably do that with morph targets because it's a little bit much with animations. Because then I would have to do a bone for every arm. That seems a little bit over the top. And probably the teeth that look out of the guy here. Probably for them I will create animations to move them around a little bit, because they will kind of come together. As example, for attacking an enemy and also for putting its prey in its mouth. So the teeth will move together or back outside into this form here. I probably will do that with animations. I could do that with morph targets, but I don't think in this case it may be better to do animations. Yeah, then the head will be interesting. Complete head. That will be probably one of the biggest parts. Absolutely, because I don't know yet how I will do it exactly. Will I make it completely circular or kind of a little bit flat on the sides? I'm not sure yet. We will see. And then going down, it will not be that difficult. We just will make smaller wings. And then we put something at the end that looks kind of interesting. However, I'm not worried about this part here because the player won't see too much of it. Yeah, let's end it here. I mean, it's the first stream in this schedule, so it's okay to end it now. And I'm sure there will be streams I will just work really a lot longer if I'm focused at something. But we did some progress here. Maybe I hoped to do more. That's maybe a little bit the problem here. But I mean, I really took my time with the texture, and I think this will show in the end. Anyway, thank you for watching. Let's not talk around here. Let's just wrap it up. Thank you for watching. Like I said, on Wednesday I will finish this guy here, our Sandworm, or at least I hope I will finish it. I don't think it will take. It should take a complete stream to finish it. As soon as I finish it, I will probably go into Unreal Engine 4. Like I said, I kind of want, or if possible, I want to mix it up a little bit. Of course, there will be streams that will only work in one software, in Blender or in Unreal Engine, but as much as I can, kind of mix it up. I will try. And in Unreal Engine, if nothing else comes up, I will work also on my project, towards my project, and that means I will kind of set up the combat map. There will be a little bit differences in the combat map, how the player sees everything, and he will also not directly control the player, but he will through widgets kind of make commands and so on. So there are a little bit differences. I also have to start to set up the attributes for player characters and enemy characters, and then kind of work with that again. Adding a lot of randomness in it, absolutely with the enemy. Anyway, that's kind of the plan, to build the combat map. This will be the next step after we made this guy here. And I mean, there's a lot to do. We also have to get our main characters together. So I kind of will work towards the first scene in the game. I talked already about that. There is an introduction about two of our characters in the desert world, and we get a cutscene at the beginning, and then after that they encounter our Sandworm here, and this will be a tutorial fight, and that's kind of the beginning I want to work towards too. However, before we go so much into the, and that's what I work into in Blender, so these characters and so on, these are priorities in Blender. However, in Unreal Engine, first I want to have, before I go into detail and into specific scenes and so on, first I want really that my game mechanics, they work like I want them to, at least in a very basic manner, and then I will go more into detail, more into specific things and so on. So the first thing I have to do are more random battles and so on, and see that the leveling system and everything works fine. I also have to make some testings in the world map. I actually similar things I did today in the first part of this stream, with about interacting with objects and people. That's the main thing in the game world. Yeah, and then of course creating random encounters and things like that. Yeah, a lot to do, but first we will focus on finishing this guy here. I think it will end up quite interesting guy here. Of course you won't encounter the Sandworm only once. He will be a random monster that can come up and so on. And don't forget, I put up some tutorials, and go on my YouTube channel and go look at them if you want to create your own game. There's definitely some nice information you can get out of these tutorials. And again, thank you for watching, and see you on Wednesday.